It is generally acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and a circuit with normal receptacles. The reason is that ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles have built-in protection against ground faults. Ground faults occur when current flows through an unintended path, such as through a person or a faulty appliance. Ground fault circuit interrupters detect ground faults by comparing the current flowing on the hot and neutral conductors. If the difference exceeds a certain threshold, the ground fault circuit interrupter trips and breaks the circuit, protecting against shock hazards. When a neutral is shared between circuits, the current flowing through the shared neutral includes the current from both circuits. However, the ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are able to differentiate between the normal currents from their own circuit and the ground fault currents that trigger tripping. They do this by monitoring the current balance between the hot and neutral conductors. When using a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker, it is not acceptable to share a neutral with other circuits. This is because the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker provides protection for an entire circuit, rather than just a single receptacle. If a ground fault occurs on any receptacle in the circuit, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker will trip, even if the neutral is shared with another circuit. In such cases, sharing a neutral could lead to a situation where a ground fault on one circuit trips the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker, interrupting power to both circuits. This would defeat the purpose of the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker, which is to provide reliable protection. Therefore, when using ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, it is always necessary to provide a dedicated neutral for the protected circuit. In summary, it is generally acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and a circuit with normal receptacles, but it is not acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and a circuit with a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. This difference is due to the way that ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and ground fault circuit interrupter breakers detect and respond to ground faults. To elaborate further, let's consider the fundamentals of electrical circuits and grounding. An electrical circuit consists of a source of power, a conductor to carry the current, a load that consumes the power, and a return path for the current. In alternating current or AC systems, these conductors are typically referred to as the hot or line conductor, the neutral conductor, and the ground conductor. The hot conductor carries the current from the source to the load, while the neutral conductor provides the return path for the current back to the source. The ground conductor provides a safety path for fault current in the event of an insulation failure or other fault condition. Ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect people from electrical shock by detecting imbalances in the current flowing through the hot and neutral conductors. These imbalances can occur when current leaks to ground, such as when a person accidentally comes into contact with a live wire. When a ground fault circuit interrupter detects an imbalance, it quickly trips the circuit, cutting off the flow of electricity and preventing a potentially fatal shock. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are typically installed in areas where there is a high risk of electrical shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. They are designed to protect only the devices plugged into the specific receptacle. In contrast, ground fault circuit interrupter breakers provide protection for the entire circuit that they serve, including all of the receptacles and devices connected to that circuit. This means that if a ground fault occurs on any part of the circuit, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker will trip, cutting off power to the entire circuit. Now let's consider the implications of sharing a neutral conductor between multiple circuits. When a neutral conductor is shared, the current from all of the circuits that share the neutral flows through the conductor. This can create a situation where the ground fault circuit interrupter is unable to accurately detect ground faults. For example, if two circuits share a neutral and a ground fault occurs on one of the circuits, the current from the ground fault may flow through the shared neutral and back to the source without being detected by the ground fault circuit interrupter on the other circuit. This can leave people unprotected from electrical shock. In the case of ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles, each receptacle monitors the current flowing through its own hot and neutral conductors. Because the ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle only monitors the current flowing through its own circuit, it is able to accurately detect ground faults, even when the neutral is shared with other circuits. However, in the case of ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, the breaker monitors the current flowing through the entire circuit that it serves. If the neutral is shared with another circuit, the breaker may not be able to accurately detect ground faults. For this reason, it is generally not acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter protection in the form of a breaker and another circuit. To further illustrate this point, let's consider a specific example. Suppose that you have a kitchen circuit with two branch circuits. One circuit serves the countertop receptacles and is protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. The other circuit serves the lighting and is not protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter. If you were to share a neutral between these two circuits and a ground fault occurred on the lighting circuit, the ground fault current could flow through the shared neutral and back to the source without being detected by the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker on the countertop receptacle circuit. This would leave people unprotected from electrical shock. In contrast, if the countertop receptacles were protected by individual ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles, each receptacle would monitor the current flowing through its own hot and neutral conductors. Because each ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle only monitors the current flowing through its own circuit, it would be able to accurately detect ground faults, even when the neutral is shared with the lighting circuit. In addition to the safety concerns associated with sharing neutrals, there are also practical considerations to keep in mind. When a neutral is shared between multiple circuits, the current flowing through the neutral can be higher than the current flowing through the individual hot conductors. This can cause the neutral conductor to overheat, which can lead to a fire. For this reason, it is important to ensure that the neutral conductor is properly sized to carry the total current from all of the circuits that share the neutral. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides specific guidelines for sizing neutral conductors in shared neutral circuits. These guidelines are designed to ensure that the neutral conductor is able to safely carry the maximum current that it is likely to encounter. It is also important to ensure that the neutral conductor is properly connected to the neutral busbar in the electrical panel. A loose or corroded connection can cause the neutral conductor to overheat, which can also lead to a fire. Finally, it is important to note that some jurisdictions may have local regulations that prohibit the sharing of neutrals in certain situations. It is always important to check with your local electrical inspector to ensure that your wiring practices are in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. In conclusion, it is generally acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and a circuit with normal receptacles, but it is not acceptable to share a neutral between a circuit with ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and a circuit with a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. This difference is due to the way that ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and ground fault circuit interrupter breakers detect and respond to ground faults. When sharing neutrals, it is important to follow all applicable codes and regulations and to ensure that the neutral conductor is properly sized and connected. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system. Let's delve deeper into the technical aspects that govern the safe and effective use of shared neutrals, particularly in the context of ground fault circuit interrupter protection. First, it's crucial to understand the concept of a multi-wire branch circuit, or MWBC. A multi-wire branch circuit is a circuit that consists of two or more ungrounded conductors that have a voltage between them and a grounded conductor, the neutral, that is common to all of the ungrounded conductors. Multi-wire branch circuits are often used to save on wiring costs, as they allow you to run two or more circuits with only one neutral conductor. However, multi-wire branch circuits must be installed correctly to ensure safety. The NEC provides specific requirements for multi-wire branch circuits, including requirements for the overcurrent protection of the ungrounded conductors and the identification of the grounded conductor. One of the most important requirements for multi-wire branch circuits is that the ungrounded conductors must be connected to different phases of the electrical system. This ensures that the current flowing through the neutral conductor is minimized. If the ungrounded conductors are connected to the same phase, the current flowing through the neutral conductor can be very high, which can overload the neutral conductor and create a fire hazard. When using a multi-wire branch circuit, it's also important to ensure that the neutral conductor is properly sized to carry the maximum current that it is likely to encounter. The NEC provides specific guidelines for sizing neutral conductors in multi-wire branch circuits. These guidelines take into account the fact that the neutral conductor may be carrying current for multiple circuits. In addition to the NEC requirements for multi-wire branch circuits, there are also specific requirements for ground fault circuit interrupter protection. As we discussed earlier, ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect people from electrical shock by detecting imbalances in the current flowing through the hot and neutral conductors. When a ground fault circuit interrupter detects an imbalance, it quickly trips the circuit, cutting off the flow of electricity and preventing a potentially fatal shock. Ground fault circuit interrupters are typically installed in areas where there is a high risk of electrical shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. There are two main types of ground fault circuit interrupters: ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and ground fault circuit interrupter breakers. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are installed at individual receptacle locations, while ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are installed in the electrical panel and protect the entire circuit. When using ground fault circuit interrupter protection in a multi-wire branch circuit, it's important to follow specific guidelines to ensure that the ground fault circuit interrupter protection works properly. Firstly, it's important to avoid sharing a neutral between a circuit protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker and another circuit. This is because the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker monitors the current flowing through the entire circuit, including the neutral conductor. If the neutral is shared with another circuit, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker may not be able to accurately detect ground faults. Secondly, when using ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles in a multi-wire branch circuit, it's important to ensure that each receptacle is properly wired. This means that the hot and neutral conductors must be connected to the correct terminals on the receptacle. If the conductors are not connected correctly, the ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle may not work properly. The National Electrical Code in Section 210.4 covers multi-wire branch circuits. Subsections NB generally discuss where multi-wire branch circuits can originate and how they are identified. Crucially, 210.4c addresses the disconnection requirements. It mandates that where a multi-wire branch circuit supplies more than one device or equipment on the same yoke, a means must be provided to simultaneously disconnect the unrounded conductors at the point where the branch circuit originates. This typically involves using a 2-pole or 3-pole circuit breaker to ensure that all hot wires are disconnected together, enhancing safety during maintenance or fault conditions. Moving on to conductor identification, Section 200.6 dictates the requirements for identifying grounded conductors, such as neutral wires. The grounded conductor must be identified by a continuous white or grey color. This color coding is essential for quick and easy identification during wiring and troubleshooting, preventing accidental connections that could lead to electrical hazards. Furthermore, the size and type of conductors used in these circuits must comply with NEC Chapter 3, which covers wiring methods and materials. This chapter provides detailed specifications for conductor ampacity, insulation types, and installation practices to ensure that the wiring can safely handle the anticipated loads. Article 310 specifically deals with conductors for general wiring, outlining ampacity ratings and rating factors based on temperature and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. Proper conductor sizing is crucial for preventing overheating and ensuring the longevity of the electrical system. Regarding ground fault protection, Article 210.8 specifies where ground fault circuit interrupter protection is required. This includes bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor locations where electrical receptacles are installed within proximity to water or damp environments. Ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to detect even small imbalances in current, quickly shutting off the power to prevent electrical shock. The NEC also addresses the installation of arc fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs in Article 210.12. Arc fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect against fires caused by arcing faults, which can occur when damaged or deteriorated wiring creates unintended electrical arcs. Arc fault circuit interrupters are typically required in dwelling units to protect branch circuits supplying receptacles and lighting outlets in bedrooms, living rooms, and other habitable areas. It's important to note that the NEC is updated every 3 years, and local jurisdictions may have their own amendments or interpretations of the code. Therefore, it's always essential to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure compliance with the latest applicable codes and regulations. Proper understanding and adherence to these codes and best practices are crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems, particularly when dealing with multi-wire branch circuits and ground fault protection. Now let's discuss some practical considerations for working with shared neutrals and ground fault circuit interrupters. Firstly, it's important to always disconnect power before working on any electrical circuit. This can be done by turning off the circuit breaker that supplies power to the circuit. Secondly, it's important to use the correct tools and equipment when working on electrical circuits. This includes using insulated screwdrivers, pliers, and wire strippers. Thirdly, it's important to follow all applicable codes and regulations when wiring electrical circuits. This includes the NEC and any local codes or regulations. Fourthly, it's important to test the circuit after you have completed the wiring to ensure that it is working properly. This can be done by using a multimeter or a circuit tester. Fifthly, it's important to label all of the circuits in the electrical panel. This will make it easier to identify the circuits in the future. Sixthly, it's important to keep the electrical panel clean and free of obstructions. This will help to prevent overheating and other problems. Seventhly, it's important to have the electrical system inspected by a qualified electrician on a regular basis. This will help to identify any potential problems before they become serious. Eighthly, it's important to be aware of the hazards of electricity. Electricity can be dangerous if it is not handled properly. Ninthly, it's important to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. This includes wearing rubber gloves and shoes when working on electrical circuits. Tenthly, it's important to know what to do in case of an electrical emergency. This includes knowing how to shut off the power and how to call for help. By following these practical considerations, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system. And by understanding the technical aspects of shared neutrals and ground fault circuit interrupters, you can make informed decisions about your electrical wiring practices.